Hey guys, what is up? So let me take my phone real quick. What is up, you guys? My name is Kakarot, and today we are going to talk about a character that I hate. Now I might just make this little series where I talk characters I really freaking hate, but it should be apparent that people should learn. If you watch a certain show, or play a certain game, or even sorry, I'm having a hard time talking, but basically, no matter what fandom you are in, you're gonna find that one character that you either love or that one character that you really hate. I do not like the character I'm gonna talk about, but before I tell you the character, I'm gonna tell you this. The show is Gravity Falls. Okay? Now, out of all the likable casts, who do you think I dislike? I'll give you 10 seconds. Alright, so assuming you didn't have a guess, the answer is Dipper. Yeah, I know, how original. First off, my disdain for Dipper comes from a few reasons. For one, he's a damn nerd. There are good nerdy characters, I get it. Haruhi Fujioka from All in High School Host Club, Deku from My Hero Academia, and even some non-anime examples, which I ain't trying to think of, but eventually, the thing here is, okay, I got another anime example, Gohan there, but eventually, these characters have taste, and they're very tasteful, they are good characters. They do not flex, they do not brag, they do not even do a lot of shit Dipper does. Let's start with reason one. Not only is he a damn nerd, but he's just a weirdo. He's awkward. He's basically everything that people don't want to be in their teen years, even though he's 12. But, pre-teen years, teen years, it is what it is. And eventually, it should really come as no surprise that I dislike him for another reason, aside from flexing and before you say, how does he flex? Trust me, watch a show. He flexes his smarts quite a lot. He also is known for his poor decision making and very impulsive behavior. Trust me, he would probably fall for any trick if he heard Wendy was going to be the prize. And that's another thing I'm going to tell him. And this video might not be exactly what you pictured. It might not be the professional essay you were imagining, but you know what? It is what it is. So, number one, he's just a damn nerd. He flexes. But I'm hammering the same points home. What's the second reason? The second reason is, as stated, he is awkward. Like, he can't handle a lot of situations without just being awkward, and people do claim that it's because he's just he's a preteen boy. Of course he's going to be awkward. But I was a kid at one point, and I remember not seeing a lot of awkward preteen boys in my area. Does that mean they don't exist? No, it doesn't. But it doesn't mean that that all of them are awkward either. Another thing I dislike about Dipper is, aside from his overall, and yes, I was a dog, but aside from his overall nerdiness, which is tasteless, his awkwardness, which is just weird, he also has a real complex when it comes to the dating scene. Arguably, his issues probably root from the fact that he probably didn't have a girlfriend. And I understand when you're around 12, 13, you're getting there. You're getting to that age where you want to have someone to hook up with, even if it's just like for Valentine's Day, I want to call it swing as you're not doing anything bad, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? No? Okay. So, eventually, Dipper's girl troubles are blatantly obvious. And anyone who ships Dipper is not really any better. Now, I will admit, I'm a former Windip shipper. I am. I'm a former Dipper Glazer. I used to love his smarts. Now I see his nerdiness. I loved how he could pull through in a lot of situations, which I guess is still admirable. But then, his girl troubles and his Glazers. He couldn't get with Wendy, despite people probably claiming that he's smart and confident. He couldn't even speak to his own crush. And I get if he would have got that he fears getting rejected, but does that mean that you shouldn't try? No, and in fact, if you're loved, you'll know it. Trust me. I've had 2 official relationships, and they worked, you know. Time may have drifted me apart from the first one, but the second one remains. And so, obviously, I am going to throw in another thing. His fans. His fans aren't any better than he is. And you could argue, why did you leave off at Windip? Well, this is why. Because his Glazers will ship Dipsifica or him and Candy. Now, the good news is that he and Candy are not the most common ship. They weren't. They were simply there. But with, what was it? Well, it was Dipsifica. It was a popular ship, okay? Like, people would be glazing the absolute crap, you know. But people would be glazing the absolute crap out of Dipsifica. As if their lives depended on them being together. And what happened at the end? Nothing. No romance, no nothing. I'm pretty sure that I was disappointed at the time, but nowadays I'm pretty glad, you know, because as you know, I understand how he feels being 12 and in his preteen years, almost teen years. It isn't usually the best feeling, but at the same time, when you're 11 and 12, you ought to be enjoying your life. You know, do what I didn't do. Or didn't get to do, but that's another story for another day. But just enjoy what you are able to do. Okay? Like, don't worry. You shouldn't have to worry about being in a relationship. But thanks to people or characters like Dipper, who are so awkward and worried about relationships, we feel that way. But even so, his fans do not do any better. So while I don't think this video was the most professionally made, hell, probably wasn't professional, period, I'm going to go over these points one last time. Dipper is smart, but he flexes all the time. It's annoying. Well, not all the time, but when he does flex, it is annoying. Dipper and Mabel are literally nowhere near or close. And when I say close, I mean like in overall quality. Like, Mabel's fun. She's creative. She's got so much potential as a character. Yet Dipper is just like, he holds her back. I mean, he's supposed to be the sort of grounding, you know, or anchor that keeps you grounded, but at the same time, it almost feels like the relationship was empty. I mean, no wonder she created Dippy Fresh, who sucks, by the way. Because, well, she wasn't getting the same open-mindedness from her own brother. And also, the people who Dipper seem to also have some sort of complex. And I did forget a point, if I made any to you. But even if I didn't, what I forgot to say was that a lot of the other characters, a lot of the other nerdy characters, like Ford, are honestly no better. I mean, sure, Ford, I mean, it was a different time, was the whole reason he wasn't as bad. And his time on screen was really short-lived. But Dipper was a main character. And so, 1 second he could be, once again, sorry for the dogs. Once again, one second he could be doing quite good and smart, then the next second he's failing. Like he literally failed a strength test, which I guess isn't too bad, but oddly enough, he didn't focus so much on trying to be so intelligent to flex that maybe he wouldn't have had to be. What is it? Basically, he wouldn't have had to worry about everything if he just focused on what he had, intelligence, and didn't focus on flexing it. If he didn't have so many glazers who are better going to comment right now, that I'm missing points or scenes or whatever, then it's just going to prove me right, okay? Because there is no reason that, and I'm not saying you can't like Dipper, but also I did forget some of the points I made while while trying to recite this and practice, and it's a lot of things he does, but I did leave them out because they're honestly just extra. And so, while this video isn't the most put together, I know, it should at least serve to make you think. And what you should do is at least consider how I feel about Dipper. Like, I'm considering how you feel, you know? If you love Dipper, if you like Dipper, if you think he's a good character, then fine. I'm not going to try and debate it, although I did almost get into a debate on one of my videos. This is why I am going to advocate that people stop. Okay? If you want to comment, you can comment. You can have your opinions, just like this Nicholas guy did. But this isn't about him, you know? He also stated his opinion on a video of mine in the past, but once again, this is not about him. I may address him in a separate video. But what this is about is the fact that Dipper, just not a good character. He's an awkward nerd who literally could barely get a girlfriend, and all because Alex Hirsch was a damn troll. Anyways, sorry for wasting your time. See ya.